Welcome back to Soulful Academics, where I teach you guys how to budget, save, and invest. Go to soulfulacademics.com and use your free budget tools so you can free up debt and build long-term wealth using the portfolio dollar cost averaging. Let's get straight into the video. Today was the best day we've seen in the stock market in the last 20 years. And types of Bitcoin right now is on the emerge. We're seeing how Bitcoin's back to 100K. And we had a great announcement from Donald Trump. We see that he had a trade agreement with the UK. That's what caused the whole markets to start rallying today. So overall, markets just did a phenomenal job today. Thanks you guys for paying attention the last 4 months, 5 months, practicing these little habits of putting money aside and dollar cost averaging, using that budget from soulfulacademics.com, typing in how much you got to pay back, and now you got some money left over so we can pour it into these companies and we can grow long-term wealth. 20 to 30% returns, even more depending on different option strategies we use. Cryptocurrency is a very volatile way to grow long-term investment too, without as much risk compared to options. Way to market push back from being at its all-time low, or not all-time low. We've seen it at like a 3-month, 1-year low. The market pulled down really quick. The market was in a bear market for a few seconds, and now we had extreme fear at 12. If you're watching, paying attention to the past videos, you've seen that we got into about a 12 to a 7 low, and that's almost towards zero. Like, market was really extreme fear, and we bounced back within a few weeks, starting on April 8th. And now market's been full buyers. If you looked at S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin already been recovered fast too. So we're back in greed with a 62. So going down to numbers like that, going down to 50, 25, 17, to all these numbers that's going down the list, it's a way that you can use patterns to analyze where lines are going down to its lowest and where we're going to go to get out that parabolical range, and then we're going to break out. So now we had a breakout after we see price has to go down to the lowest first in order to rise. So we see how the same mechanism that we practice in these other videos. I keep telling you guys the markets had to go down really bad in order to skyrocket. Now, how we see Bitcoin fell down tremendously fast, but whenever you see that happen, that's a healthy sign that we're going to have a healthy pullback in the uptrend. Okay, if that would have broke 70K or 65K in Bitcoin, we would have officially entered into a bear market as well. But we didn't get too deep in Bitcoin into a bear market. That's why the market right now is currently still in greed with a 62. So that was a perfect sign for the last 4 months practicing that dollar cost average. I know you guys ate today. Glory to be to God, because we just able to practice doing this and teach this, and people can change the lifestyle just doing the little things they want to get that financial freedom, guys. Because every time they print their dollar, they use the same mechanisms of putting the money into the markets and investing and getting ways of borrowing so they can create innovation businesses, invest into these corporate 500 companies, and that really just boosts the economy. So we might as well practice and knowing how to use the same skill to do that, just because every time they print a dollar creates fiat, where we have harder working and the dollars being less valuable in America. Okay, so if we take some Bitcoin to El Salvador and we transfer that to USD, we already have like a whole bunch of capital already, just because the amount of the currency for El Salvador and the cost of living is way less than what the rate of Bitcoin is growing, outpacing over time. So you always want to be ahead of inflation. Okay, you know, the US dollar, even though it's getting devalued, you can use it and put it into assets like these ones we're about to talk about, with the market's currently in greed with a 62 out of 100. And you practicing going down to the market whenever it's a dip and market's in extreme fear. Every time there's uncertainty, is a perfect time to start applying that capital dollar cost average. You know, really getting the size in that position as the market starts to pull down. And when it goes up to the points right here, you just want to keep doing it the same thing. Okay, next one on the list we have is Ethereum. Ethereum is down to $2,182. And you know, Ethereum is one of them I told you guys about since the beginning of the year. It's one of actually my favorite cryptocurrencies behind Bitcoin. And I show them both the same amount of consistent dollar cost averaging, just because Ethereum has a way of, you know, that type of reward that you have that desires higher risk, is because we might be more volatile than those other companies. They move faster, tremendously down and tremendously up. that's the way I look at Ethereum. I mean, it's the one behind Bitcoin. We're seeing the first Bitcoin Gold Bitcoin release first, and then after that, the adoption with Ethereum and the Web3 and how DeFi NFTs, we got staking, like you can have a way of gaining interest or percentage back just by staking Ethereum, and that's another way of passive income as well. So it really opened up a lot of webs to the Web3 and technologies. When we see Microsoft partnered up with IBM, I like how Ethereum was just adapting the way to innovating with technologies, very loose and not controlled. Like you really can create your own type of decentralized land with Ethereum. Okay, people always complain about it, the gas fees, or they're always bearish on Ethereum. But you can't lie, Ethereum is just one of those that if you're a developer engineer, you can really easily use it to adapt to the technology you have. And it's one that really allowed that to happen behind Bitcoin. Okay, so we're seeing that Ethereum is down 66%. It's down $2,700 in the last 126 days, started in December. So whenever we practice the dollar cost average these past 5 months, and we see Ethereum fall down to about 1,300, we already back up now to 2,200, around 2,100, guys. So now we've seen a 50% rise off investment and return by just buying down at the lowest and just getting up to this upside to go past 4,000 in the middle of the year, and then we might even touch 10,000 in the next 2 years. Okay, let's pay attention to how Ethereum is volatile and it requires you to have way really patience with Ethereum, just because it doesn't really match Bitcoin. People are impatient with Ethereum. If you have patience and you can really buy Ethereum now and wait for it to really rise back to double to 4,000, this is a great cryptocurrency that you can practice now. Putting dollar cost average, putting the dollar away a minute, a day, a month, a year, whatever you can, guys. Putting that practice into it, putting that date, applying that dollar cost average of that pressure to this cryptocurrency, I guarantee you would have way more push to where your financial direction you want to go with that debt or that loan or that car house, the car note that you got, whatever it is, the house loan. You have a goal. This is going that you're going to focus on. All you need is one, guys. Like I said, you just need one asset that you need to build on to take you out that financial rat race. Okay, you feeling like you're living check to check. We're getting the dollar every pay 2 periods, and we barely got nothing left. This is that one that make you feel like you're ahead behind Bitcoin, and this one can have you feeling ahead too at a quicker rate. That's because we got more growth and adaptability with Ethereum as well as Bitcoin. So the more Bitcoin adapts and gets more institutionalized with the payment services part, that peer-to-peer network, then we're gonna see it actually Ethereum evolve and adapt to the way with more decentralized apps and way companies use it too as well, and their technologies to make things more efficient and faster. Okay. Now, always keep an eye on one starting now. If you haven't done much research on Ethereum, I just gave you guys introductory to the Ethereum network, which is basically a peer-to-peer network that allows person A to talk to person B without having someone in the middle interfere, like a third party or a bank, institution, government, that confirms that transaction, that communication. It's controlled by the nodes on the blockchain network, or basically just miners or PCs that have a ledger that listen to those and communicate and solve algorithms to verify that communication that they are on the blockchain. So this is why we keep a blockchain safe and network secure. Those are nodes, miners, and ledgers. I invest in Ethereum because it allows me to go with high risk of growth, but then get way higher return in a fast period of time, but not even fast. This is really patience. Okay, I know Ethereum is always going to be worth above a certain dollar, and I see how it moves every month. And now we look at the 1 week time frame. We seen Ethereum had a huge starting doji candlestick. Last month before the month ended, I felt that Ethereum had a huge bullish candlestick towards the upside in May. And I called this out on my Twitter. If y'all haven't followed my Twitter, make sure you follow me at Soulful Academics. And we can see tweets and things, plays that I see right out the bat. And I just quickly make a tweet about it. And I seen Ethereum having that right here. It's called a butterfly doji. It's what you want to see in a reversal in a market. Basically, this is a sign of reversal. Okay, going from a downtrend, and then that range happens. It was what that candlestick basically was, but it really closed towards the upside. If we notice where the candlestick opened to close at the bottom of the graph is where mostly a reversal will happen, at the bottom of the chart, right? Okay, so if you see this candlestick anywhere near a bottom of a downtrend, you want to pay attention to what the next candlestick does, okay? And there, like I taught you guys in the last videos, if we look at this candlestick for reversals, you always pay attention to the next two that happen after it to confirm on the direction, okay? So what I was saying was the way that Ethereum closed towards the upside around 1700 last month, watch out for May for a huge bullish activity towards 2000 strong. Okay, and we seen that happen for about the first 6 days of May. We seen Ethereum shoot up to the moon with that May candlestick. And the reason why I have a ways of flowing with these candlesticks is just because I watch candlesticks move in a 1 minute time frame, and the same thing happens in other time frames, how they move. So if a pattern happens in a 1 minute time frame, it can happen in the way it forms. So reversal on the candlesticks that it looks like, it's the same thing that's out on the other time frame, but the time frame for the candlesticks are much larger just because it's for that multiple days. It's just showing you consistent days of that month. So all these candlesticks, if I was to zoom in to April's candlesticks, I will go down to the 1 year time frame. It'll show me the candlesticks every day. Okay, if we notice how this type of time frame happens, we can see, okay, there was some type of bottom towards April after it hit the lowest, and price really broke out and started a nice uptrend. But if we look out to the all-time time frame where we can see the candlesticks that happen every month, we notice that that's a huge sign of reversal with that butterfly doji. Okay, and if we know these candlestick patterns and what candlesticks mean, they're telling you a message on basically where to open and close. Okay, I know Ethereum in February was a huge bearish sign of Ethereum had more downside. Okay, when you see these three crows right here, you're gonna see big more downtrends after the next two candlesticks as well. And that's when any market, when you see those three big crows like this right here is like three big crows, and then we seen Ethereum have a candlestick pattern of this M. Whenever you see an M like this, this means it's going to be a huge drop towards the downside, and boom, Ethereum hit that $1,300 range in April, and then we quickly bounced towards 1,700 in the end of April. So that's a huge sign that we have a way of going to the upside very strong, depending how a stock moves down fast and how it recovers, shows you the amount of volatility and pressure that where it's at that certain time. So it's like a seasonal sale whenever you go to the store. Target, instead of Target selling its Tootsie Rolls for $1, Target selling its Tootsie Rolls for 5 cents each that day. And if you come to get it, then that's all it's gonna be left. They had limited supply. So boom, that's what this company right here did with Ethereum. It had a sale for about 15 days or 15 minutes, or depending on the time frame. We can look at it zoomed in, and price quickly bounced up towards a higher price. So they quickly changed the price on what it should be valued at. Now the people selling the value on eBay, the Tootsie Rolls for $10, because Tootsie Rolls are rare. People saying you can't live, or not even Tootsie Rolls, maybe toilet paper. People selling that toilet paper for way more than it costs, because the government saying there's gonna be a huge pandemic. What, you know what I'm saying? It's something that's on the news or influencing demand for the product. Now you're selling it for way higher. That's how Ethereum moved this month. Basically, we seen how it was on sale. With this confirmation, guys, this is a perfect setup, guys. Whenever we see candlesticks like this, perfect sign of direction going down, and then we see the reversal candlestick, and then the next 3 months we're gonna see big bullish engulfing candlesticks like this, hammers, or we might even see a candlestick like this as well. We might go down real bad like that, but end up closing towards the middle or the high, or we're just going past 4,000 from now towards the rest of the year, guys. Okay. Once we see candlesticks happen every month where we're going down consistently, that's like a bear market right here. What Ethereum did, it touched dang near bear market in 2022's price range. Okay, and that's a sign for me. Okay, I need to get some Ethereum. Okay, cause I have the opportunity. Just cause if I missed Ethereum's price in that bear market in 2022, I have the opportunity to get in now. So that's why I look at Ethereum as it has a way to short squeeze higher than a lot of cryptocurrencies, and really start that for other cryptocurrencies as well. Don't forget, Ethereum is one of the ones that really bought out some more cryptocurrencies and some stable coins. You know, we got Solana too, we got Sandbox, we got Helium, we got Cardano, okay? We got Quant, we got different other cryptocurrencies too, with some pretty high capital too. So Ethereum really gonna have show the way that cryptocurrency has opportunity to short squeeze as well as Bitcoin. Okay, and that's why I invested into Ethereum, just because we've seen it touch huge area of support like we touched in 2022, and then we broke out. And once price touched there, it didn't stay there long. And now we see how Bitcoin and Ethereum was moving in May. It had that big outbreak, and we seen that last month's candlestick gave us that hint that we have huge momentum this month. So thank you guys for really trusting and really practicing, trusting the process. And I know you guys got rewarded.